Hello teams, it's that time in the semester where we do the first review, right? This is our first run at what you've done so far and get feedback from UAH. And this you want, right?
Yeah.
You might not say, yeah, I don't want to do this, but yeah, you do. Because you want to know what they think, and they're engineers, so they're going to tell you what they think, no matter if you want to hear it or not. So that's kind of the way it goes. So
it's a freebie.
Yeah, it's a freebie. I mean, it might be for a grade for your class, but from Inspire's perspective, it's not the competition yet. You're not being scored yet, so this is the time to make sure you got everything correct. You don't want to have this happen at Payload Concept Review, or definitely not Final Review. Mm-hmm. That's a really bad time.
Nope.
So what we want to do is tell you kind of what's going to happen and how this is going to flow next week. Because the operative word here, next week.
This is week 7.
Right? We're in week 7, which is week...
7.
Right? And in week
Germans.
8...
8. 8.
Stop spitting on me.
Yeah. The ocho.
Wheat in French.
Wheat.
Set and wheat. So week 8 is Payload Status Review, right? And so that's what this is getting you ready for, is that thing. So everybody's watching this one, the entire team is, because it takes a team to make this work, right?
Yes.
Leaders have been told how they're going to be assessed. The design group has been talking about, and sorry, you had him the whole time.
We're good.
About alternatives and stuff like that. And then CEA group, you guys are working on the CEA plan. It's got to all come together now and become a nice integrated package, and as we would call it, a good story. You got to make it flow, make everything work together. So that's what Payload Status Review is all about.
Yep.
It's the halfway point to say, have you got it so far, right? So that's what this is going to do. So, Payload Status Review occurs next week, week 8, or week...
8.
There you go.
For the Germans.
It basically provides the status of your payload and your CEA planning to date, right? Because at this point, you're also submitting the ICD and the CEA plan, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but that's happening too. So everything's coming together, right? So the deliverables for this Payload Status Review, I should have read my chart ahead of time. The interface control documents coming in. The community engagement activity plan is coming in. The Payload Status Review presentation is coming in, right? So 3 things are happening right now. So you got to get everything organized and everything good to go.
So 2 of these are due at the end of week 7.
Yep.
So heads up on that.
Yeah.
On the 26th of September. That's the right month?
Yeah.
Friday the 26th of September when these, the ICD and the CEAP are due.
Yep. So all these have templates on the Inspire's website on the
Downloads page.
There we go.
The Inspire's website.
Right. So if you're just now realizing this and it's week 7, oh, you got some work to do. So hopefully you're like, yeah, I've been there, done that. We got the T-shirt, right? So we already got all this stuff already down the path. But all this stuff's due. So what's up first? ICD, the interface control document. It's basically we had a separate presentation on the details of the ICD. We gave that to you in week 5?
Something.
Yeah, in week 5. And so that's already outlined. Basically what the ICD does is outlines the requirements and responsibilities between UAH and the Inspire's team. This is kind of your contract between us, saying we understand what we're supposed to do, and here's our requirements, and here's what we think we have to, what we're going to be about, governed by, really. And so we're going to say yes or no, okay? So there's 4 types of requirements, and Matt talked to you about those in like week 3-ish?
Something.
5-ish? I don't know. One of those times. They are project, the things we give you. The science requirements, which you determine, because you create a science objective, you create instrumentation from it. Functional requirements, which we gave you a list. That's all there is, right? Unless you got some more to add on.
Maybe some more.
Yeah. Environmental, you picked. Because you said science is this, we need to go here. Therefore, the environment is this. Correct? This is what happens. So, there's a template on the Inspire's website, again on the
Downloads page.
There we go. The draft is due September 26th, that Friday, okay? By 11:55 p.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically before Saturday.
Yes. So we need this. It says draft, but we want it to be almost done. I mean, you're ready to sign if we said, oh, this is great. right? Because what happens is then when this draft comes in, the UH program manager reviews it. If they need to say they need to change anything with you, they'll do it, and then all parties will sign it. At that point, she don't change unless everybody re-signs, okay? And this is not an easy process. So you want to have this puppy done, okay? And you want everything as good as you can. What's your problem?
You become Italian every now and then.
So, whatever. So that's that one.
Not an easy process. We make it the pizza. You were like, it's not an easy
Go
process.
slap some mosquitoes
I haven't
again.
seen it yet. I'm looking.
Yeah. All right, the CEAP, the CEAP, right? There's a separate presentation on the details of this.
Yep.
That was in week 4 or 5.
Something.
Yeah. It outlines the team's plan to execute the community engagement activity events. This is the plan of what you're going to do, right? Some of you already done a few of them. Okay, put them in the plan because you already got them.
Yep.
Each CA event should have the activity, what you're going to do, where you're going to do it, how you're going to publicize about it, how many people you think is going to come, and what do you think you're going to get out of this, right? Your ultimate goal is to get at least 500 visitor surveys so you get those 10 points.
But
that's bottom line.
That's not what we mean by, we don't want you to say we hope to get like 400 people out of it. We hope to accomplish, we hope to educate them on
Blah, blah, blah.
the ice of Europa, or how big space is, or whatever, gravity, whatever you're doing, whatever the purpose of the demonstration you're doing at your CEA is, that's what you hope to accomplish with it. I mean, you do hope to get numbers, but that's not what we want you to say right there.
Yep. Include the preliminary list of supplies needed. So you've got to plan this out and know, oh, we need flour, or oh, we need 4,000 pounds of dry ice. Whatever it is you need for these events, you need to start creating that list.
Flour and dry ice.
I don't know. So that we need a schedule. When are these things going to occur? You got to start planning that out now. Hopefully you've got that done, because you need to have this schedule pretty much laid out and how this is going to happen. Do not wait till the last minute to do these. We have seen bad things happen when that does happen.
It's not good.
Because you never know when it's going to snow, it's going to rain real hard, because God forbid we get out for a lot of rain for some reason.
Yeah.
Anything like that's going to happen. It can. And as you get closer and closer to November and December, when it gets colder, you never know what's going to happen around here anymore. So do that. Again, the CEAP is due, the preliminary CEAP is due on September 26th.
Friday.
Same day. After the program manager reviews it, might have to change it some, everybody signs. Again, we do not change unless everybody re-signs it. That's not fun.
No changes.
Yeah. Nope, not at all. So get that done, okay? So what are we left with? PSR presentation, right? So this is going to be a maximum of 10 minutes, right? What's that in German?
10 Minuten.
Really?
Yeah. 10 is 10, and minutes is Minuten.
Oh, but what was the 10?
10.
Okay.
Jawohl.
I get why they're not that popular.
Germans?
Yeah.
Well, they start world wars. That's the problem.
French is this.
Yeah. That's not a word.
Well, his either.
All right.
Okay, then 10 minutes so you get 10 minutes uninterrupted to give your little spiel, right? You got a template. It's like 20 slides. So you only got like half a minute for each slide. It's not a lot of time.
On average, but some slides are real quick.
Yeah. So, but make sure you practice this ahead of time. This is the big deal.
You don't want the first time to be during the PSR.
No, it's not good. It's not pretty for anybody.
Because the first time's always like,
look, he's speaking German again.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to, you want it to be like the 9th time.
Yep. So you got 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes, that's it, right? We're gonna stop you. Then the board gets 10 minutes to ask questions and you provide answers. So this is when the UAH students get to ask you questions about what you did. Leaders, if you watch the PSR criteria and assessment video, you'll find out exactly what they're gonna ask you because the questions are listed, okay? So just make sure you get all that under control. The plan right now is to use GoToMeeting. I will let Matt describe what's gonna happen from there. Because I'm not the details person.
GoToMeeting's it's a program, it's a software that
Really?
Yeah, basically it'll run on the computer at your school, and it does have the ability to project your image, like with the camera, but we're not going to do that because it's going to take up too much bandwidth. What we'll do is we'll just project, through the internet, your slides will appear on the other person's computer. So we'll project your slides through the internet and your voice. So we'll have a microphone there, and so they'll hear you and see your slides, but we probably won't do video because it's a lot of bandwidth for most of the schools, and it ends up causing problems. So that's the plan right now, and we got another couple weeks to figure this out too. So if the plan changes, we'll let you know. But
and why are we doing it this way?
This allows GoToMeeting. In previous years, we've done Skype, and basically with Skype, Skype occurs like there's a presenter with a camera, and then there's someone else with a camera, or there's another location with the camera and the monitor, and so it's a one-to-one thing. So everybody at UH had to come to the same room and assemble, and that was where we had the board. With GoToMeeting, people from all over the world literally could jump into our meeting and could be a part of this PSR. So this might not happen at PSR, but we hope to have people from all over the country come in and join, at least during the PCR, maybe at PSR, and so that you guys could be assessed by people from all over the place, as long as I get the time right. So that's the idea, is that it allows us to have more reviewers come in from different places. They can come in from all over North Alabama and sit there on computer, but it also allows us to expand it out to all over the world.
So this is how NASA does presentations.
Yeah, it's
we usually don't have video telecons
No.
at NASA. They have what's called WebEx,
which is just like GoToMeeting.
It's the same thing as GoToMeeting. It's just not as complicated because, of course, it's NASA, so they have to buy the more complicated one.
Yeah.
But that's how they do it. Is they share the presentation with everybody, and that's what they hear their voice, but they don't see them.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to do for PSR and PCR. And then when you do the real McCoy, when you come up for final review, you'll be actually in front of a live board.
So just to reiterate, this presentation, PSR, and then again at PCR, you guys will be at your high school presenting. Yep. And you'll be presenting to, PJ and I will be at your high school there. You'll be presenting to the people in the room, basically, but the main audience is going to be on the other side of the computer, on the other side of the internet, basically. You won't see them, they won't see you, but they'll hear you, and they'll see your slides.
Yep.
So that's the way that works.
Yep.
But with whatever your teacher says as far as dress, as far as attire, that's what goes.
Yep.
We officially have no opinion on this.
Matt wears the same thing every day,
yes,
as you can tell.
I have a lot of these shirts, by the way, just FYI.
He's just cheap.
Also a lot of these jeans. But
he's just cheap. He washes every day.
I have a lot of the same pair of shoes too. I love the Nikes. And so anyway, but
he doesn't change a lot, if you can tell.
Woo. So as long as you guys, as your teacher's happy with what you're wearing for your PSR, we will be happy. So there's that.
Okay. So make sure your team and high school logos are on each slide. It says logo here, right? Put their logos on there. You know the logos.
Take off the text that says logo here.
Yes. Eliminate all template wording from the presentation. That's a big deal. Get rid of all that. That looks really stupid if you have put your science objective here and then you say the science objective is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That looks really dumb.
Seriously, okay, we need to clearly state this because we state this every single year, and every single year someone does this. There are instructions in the template. Get rid of the instructions that are in the template and put the content in the template, and that's your presentation. There should be no, put logo here, put science table here. That's gone. You just put the stuff there. You don't leave the instructions in there, okay? It just...
Say this in German so it's even more forceful.
Yeah. 9.
Say eliminate the instructions in German.
Gosh. Eliminating the instruction on it. I don't know how to say eliminate.
It should be like a really interesting German word.
Du solltest keine Instruktionen haben in die Präsentation. Capisch? That last part wasn't German.
I was gonna say, like, I even know that wasn't German. Anyway, all right, so get that. Get rid of all that stuff so you don't look stupid, right?
That's the main reason.
So, the topic's covered, the template goes over it, right? Team name, slogan, logo, science objective, instrumentation. You know what that looks like? That looks like TPR1, Matt.
Oh my gosh!
Isn't that crazy? Then,
It's insane.
functional environmental requirements. That looks like TPR2.
Holy cow!
Right? So all you got is this last little bit that you haven't done so far. So you should be able to put this in. And CEA plan, we actually can talk about on up there. So, alternative concepts, the sketches and the pros and cons, and the concept operations, because that's the stuff you're worried about this week. So we know this is the stuff that's not going to be as good, right? This stuff better be really, really good.
Rock solid.
Yep, we're ready to go. We're done. Okay? All that kind of stuff. So, just to make sure everything goes right, we want you to submit your presentation to TWO, or
Zwei.
there you go, in German, days
Zwei.
before your review, right? So if your review is on Monday, your thing's due Saturday. If your thing's on Wednesday, your thing's due Monday. If your thing's on Thursday,
If your presentation's on, too many things.
Yeah.
If your presentation's on Wednesday, submit your presentation Monday.
if your presentation's Thursday, you submit it Tuesday.
And by the way, all these things we're saying, submit the presentation, submit the ICD, submit the CAAP. Inspire's website uploads page. Submit. You're uploading it to us. There's a little thing. There's a form you fill out. You upload your document on the website itself. You put your email address and stuff like that. Your high school, and that's how you submit it to us via the uploads page.
Yep.
That's part of the reason we're doing this, is because we're kind of practicing with this stuff. If there's any hiccups with uploading, we learn this stuff before we get to the end of the semester.
Yes.
So.
Okay. So that's what that is. Now let's go over that presentation.
All right, let's do it.
So slides 1 and 2, right? Title slide and the agenda slide. Title slide, add your team name, high school name, put the logo, right? And give us some little introductory remarks. Just go, this is team blah. Give us a little bit about why it's blah. You know, not blah. It should be some other name, right? Team whatever. Give us a little something. You know, and discuss it a second for us, just to get us introduced to you. Just don't be like, hey, we're here.
Hey.
Right? Don't be like him. This is not boring. That's boring, right? If you don't like when he talks, so why would you do it like that? That's what we want.
9.
Right? Agenda slide. Next one, leave it alone. Right? Go over the slide briefly to tell the board what you're going to tell them. Right? This is Aristotelian rhetoric. You're going to tell them what you're going to tell them what you told them. Okay? So this is what this slide does. And this is just to tell them, this is what we're going to tell you. Right? And that's what you can say is, this is the agenda for today's briefing. We're going to go over all of this in more detail as we get through it. That's it. Go on. Right? Really
But don't. This is where you can make up some time on these 2 slides.
Yeah, you don't need 30 seconds.
These are not 30-second slides.
Yep. So those 2 can help you. All right. Slides 3 and 4. Right? Slide 3 is team introduction. Introduce all team members. Give their first and last names. We don't want you to be ashamed of your last name, so give it to us. Right? Give the position that each person has on the team. And don't just give us the acronyms, because y'all got acronyms like crazy already. You got to spell out what that means, right? I don't know what the MPV is. You know, I don't know what everything is. So you need to make sure and give us what those are, right? And make sure you introduce your program manager. Okay? You all know who your program manager is now. Everybody's been assigned one. So make sure and put that person on there as well.
Now, just so I can interrupt, when you do this live and in person at the final review, that's when everyone's going to say, "Hi, I'm John Doe, and I worked on blah." You know?
It's your name.
Yeah. Okay. That's correct. But when you do it for the PSR, for the PCR, it's different because it's going to be over the internet. And so, if you want to have someone who's closest to the microphone to say everyone's name, that's okay. We'd actually recommend that you go ahead and say your own name just to kind of get you in the practice of it, if you don't know your own name. But
yeah.
But it just kind of gets you warmed up to that. And but again, with the internet, we'll have a microphone there. Step up to the mic, no pun intended, or it's not. That's actually literally step up to the mic. That's not like a metaphor. Step up to the mic and speak so they can understand you on the other side.
Speak.
Speak. so that you can understand the other side of the internet. And so, but live and in person will be much different. You know, wave, hey. So, but over the internet, they can't see you do that when it's just your voice. So,
okay. Slide 4, team identity, logo, slogan. Put it on there, right? This is not hard. Explain the link between the name, logo, and slogan. It's very important to the review board that you do this. It shows how you're thinking about your design already. So you got some cute little thing, you know, you figured this out, you got a neat slogan. You are coming up with some neat slogans. So explain that to the board. Explain what all that means, okay? Just don't go, this is our logo, our slogan is, woohoo, bye. You know, tell us about it. Give us some background. 5 and 6. This is the mission, right? Slide 5 is the Inspire's mission background.
everyone's gotten this wrong so far.
Right.
Everybody has gotten this wrong so far. So listen.
So describe the Inspire's mission here. Explain what the UH spacecraft are doing. There's actually 2 of them, right? That's what we're after on this slide. Not, we're going to go create a payload and it's got so many kilograms and it has to be autonomous. No. What's the mission that you're a part of, right? This thing called Europa Jupiter System mission, right? That kind of thing. That's what we're after here. You need to explain which spacecraft you're on and put a picture or 2 on this slide, right? You can put the spacecraft for sure. You can put a picture because he did them.
Yeah, they're
you
in
can
the...
borrow from that PowerPoint that he did. And then put a picture of what you're going to do, where you're going, you know, that kind of thing. It's kind of neat to show stuff. Don't have all, like we do, don't have all words on it. It's boring.
But yeah, there's a couple of slides that I made that are called the Inspire's mission.
They're called the what?
Inspire's mission, the mission background, whatever, you know. When it's like, okay, we're going from Earth to where are we going? Jupiter. And then, you know, we're going to orbit around Jupiter. I think it's 26 or 16 times for 700 days. And then we slowly capture around Europa. And, you know, that's what we're talking about for here. What is the overall mission doing? And you guys are a payload on the overall mission. And that's what, and then you tell us which spacecraft they're going to be on. Are you going to be on the orbiter, the lander, or both? What? So.
Okay, slide 6, science objective. List your science objective here. Tell us what the science objective is. And then, why is it important? Why should we do this?
The so what?
Yep, so what? That's what we're after here. And you need to explain, a lot of people go, science objective is blah, blah. The importance is blah, blah. And they're done in 2 seconds. No. Put some time on this. Give this some time. Why is it important? You need to give some background to this. Why is it important that we go find out what the plumes are like? Or why is it important if we go search for life? What does that mean to the common person? Yeah. And that's what we're after for this one. So make sure you do this one very well.
These missions cost a lot of money, and it's taxpayer money.
Your money.
Yeah, your money, your parents' money, and it's going to be your money soon too, because this mission won't launch for a long time. So
not that long.
Yeah. So why is it worth this much money? Why should we pay a few $1 billion for this mission? Yep. So why is it worth this?
Yep.
That's the so what.
Yep. 7-8. Science traceability matrix, right? Slide 7. So put it here. You don't have to describe the entire table. Pick a row and describe it fully. So say, here's our science traceability matrix. Let me show you how this works. And then you go, this is our objective. That's our measurement requirement. That then makes this, you know, and you all the way through it. So the board understands the thinking, you're thinking from that explanation, right? Explain one of them. And then if they got that one and everybody goes, yeah, that's agree, we're good, then they're going to trust you that you got the rest of it right too. So that's how you do this. 8, instrument requirements table. Again, don't tell them all of it. You don't have time to do that. Just explain one entire row all the way across, all the stuff you got, okay? And from there, they'll go, got it. The rest of them must be right because you got that one right, okay?
They can read. And if they have any questions
don't read it to them. That's really stupid.
And if they have any questions about your the numbers that you have, they'll come back and ask you later.
Yeah, they'll ask you that stuff, but don't read all those numbers to them. That really ticks them off. You know, they're engineers. They're not stupid. So, or most of them. So, don't do that. Slide 9, support equipment table, right? Again, entire row. We're getting the gist of this, right? Tables, we usually do a row. 10 are requirements, right? Payload design requirements. So list the project and the functional requirements here. Don't list any solutions. We really just want the requirements. The things we've told you Put them here. You need to tell the board, though, how these requirements impact you, right? We gave you a box of paper to be inside. That's something, right? We didn't say you can be the size of this room, a big, huge room. We said you got to be inside this box. So what'd that do? That made you make conscientious decisions about your payload design, right? That's the kind of thing we want there, under that. So that's the kind of stuff you need to talk about with them. Slide 11 and 12. On slide 11, this is about the payload destination, right? So, describe the destination. Be specific. Just don't say you're going to Europa.
No.
Tell us where you're going on Europa. What are you doing there, right?
Are you visiting the plumes? Are you going to go to the near the equator where that comet hit and threw a bunch of crap? Are you going to go to Jupiter, to the spot? You know, where are you going?
Yeah, we need to be specific there. Put a picture of it, right? You have Google. You can Google. Great red spot.
The presentations have a bunch of pictures of Europa.
So put a picture on there, and then what you need to do is describe that specific environment where you're going. The destination. Tell us how hot is it, how cold is it, what's it do there, you know, that kind of thing. That's what we want on this slide, is all that good detail.
Does it have plumes?
Yeah, does it rain crap, you know? Not literally rain crap, but you know, rain stuff.
Particulate and ice and stuff.
Right, so that's the kind of stuff we want on this slide. Slide 12 is the alternative solution methodology. I think it's the name of the slide. Okay, so you describe the process you went through to develop the two alternative designs. Guess what? Matt told you how to do it in the presentation. I know you might have been asleep. It's all right. Go back and look at it again. I know you'll fall asleep again, but try it 2 or 3 times. You'll finally get through the whole thing.
Caffeine.
Right? And you can do it, but don't put it in words. Oh my Lord, that's like the most boring thing in the world. That's what he did, see? That's why he went to sleep. Create a flow chart. Yeah, create a flow chart and show us, talk about it, right? Engineers love to see pictures and you just talk about them to us. So that's the kind of thing we want from all of this. We don't want all of the words. We don't like to read. That's not good, right? So make sure and do that for that slide.
Right.
Slide 13, 14. You're going to see slide 13, 14 and slide 15, 16 are identical, except one is about concept 1 and the second 2 charts are about concept 2, right? So the first one where it says concept 1 or concept 2, describe the concept, right? Tell us what it's about. What does it do? What's its cool features? What, you know, all that. Include a figure. We realize you just did, right, this week, when you're doing, where you're watching this, you actually just did alternative design. So they can be hand drawn. You can draw them on a whiteboard and take a picture of them right now. That's okay. The college kids might get a little nitpicky with you and go, well, you should have just drawn this better. You know, you say, oh, that's all. Thank you very much for that comment. And we're going with live. But give us a figure. Show us what it looks like. We're visual engineers, are visual people. So give us that figure so we understand it. And include the solution to those functions that are listed in the template, right? A table looks beautiful here. You know, where you have the function and you tell us what it is that maps that function, right? Deploy. How are you deploying? Helium, spring, launcher, you know?
Dung beetle.
Yeah, whatever it is. Hamster.
Don't use a dung beetle.
Yeah. Whatever it is, put it there, right? So that's slide 13. 14, ConOps, okay? This should just be a picture. There are no words, right? There's no words to describe this, no. But it's a picture that you've drawn. You can hand draw it again. We realize it's just a week before. That's all right. Draw it and explain it.
Or multiple pictures.
Multiple
if you do
pictures.
A storyboard.
Almost like a comic strip, you know, something like that. Whatever you want to do, but make it picture-based. Don't make it word-based. That's boring, okay? So liven it up with that. So that's slide 13 and 14. 15 and 16, exactly the same thing, except this is concept 2, right? So first slide, describe the concept, give us a picture of it, tell us what the solution is for the functions. Slide 16, to show us the pictures of how does it deploy. When we say go, we go, go! Woke up, no. When we say go, what happens? Until you fall asleep and never wake up again. You know, that's what we want to see. So show us how all that works. And really what you've done with those two, you are starting to show the physics you got to do. Okay? If we see something in the sky and it's going to be on the ground for us with, guess what? There's some physics equations going to govern that puppy. And so that's what is going to show you, right? El Geeko.
It'll be fun.
Right.
Yes.
We'll see.
So, are you done with that?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm not done.
Backtrack a little bit. So,
What the-
okay, so just so for flow purposes here, slide 11 is, okay, you've just stated your science objective. Slide 11 is, this is where we're going on Europa. This is where we're going on Jupiter, wherever. Okay. Then slide 12 is, okay, to accomplish our science objective at this location, we broke into teams and came up with 2 alternatives, or 3 or whatever. Okay, so that's slide 12. And then slide 13, 14 is, we're going to explain concept 1 to you. Slide 15, 16 is we're going to explain concept 2 to you, just so you can, yes, so that your audience can keep up. There's a flow here that is intrinsic to the presentation. We're not really explaining, we're going slide by slide, so you might not be getting it, but there's a definite flow here.
You need transitions.
Yeah, that's a logical, transitions from slide to slide that we're not really going into detail on, but you can see that, okay, so we talk about destination, and then here's how we came up with our 2 alternatives. Here's alternative 1, the details and the specs. Here's alternative 2, the details and the specs. Now guess what's next? What's next? What are the pros and cons? Pros and cons of alternative 1 versus alternative 2, so on and so forth. So that's the flow of all this.
Right. It's also on slide 17. It's usually good to use one as kind of the baseline and compare the other one to it. What's different about the other one? That's kind of what this does for you. And so that gives you a good way to show the pros and cons of the concepts.
When you talk this, when you could talk slide 17 and for years if you wanted to.
Yep.
Accentuate the differences. If they both do the same thing for certain things, just say, they both do the same thing. Talk about the differences. That's the main deal. Especially the differences that make a difference. the differences that ended up being the deciding factor on why you think.
Differentiators?
Yeah, the differentiators. You know, if there's a difference, well, this one's blue and this one's orange, but we don't care. You know, but if there's a difference that this one ends up weighing 5 kilograms and this one weighs 4 kilograms, why? And this is important to us. And so
But this one's red and white and this one's blue and orange. That might be a difference.
Yeah, I chose poorly with the colors. Please excuse that.
Yep.
But accentuate the differences there, especially the ones that are differentiators, the ones that are the reasons that you choose one over the other.
So then you have to transition on slide 18 to something totally different. You've finished talking about the payload. Now you're going to tell them about that community engagement activity plan.
So there's a transition here that you got to explain.
Because if not, it's going to go bleh.
You're changing gears. And you can even say, now for something completely different. That's a Monty Python line that people might laugh.
Yeah. But you can talk about the payload, and then say, all right, so we've explained the payload to you. Let us talk to you a little bit about the community engagement activity plan. And you talk about it, right?
And how it's linked to the payload.
Right. There you go. So describe the events that you're doing. Answer the questions that are on that slide about each event, right? And give the board sufficient detail to understand what you're going to do or what you've already done. Because I know a few of you have already done a few CEA events. That's okay. Just tell us, right? And if you've already got some done, you better have taken pictures.
Fixed photos, yes.
Cute kids.
You're wasting everyone's time if you don't have pictures.
Right, so you can already show those and say, looky here, look what we already done, right? That can go here, so do that.
So you can add slides to this if you need to add photos.
Yeah, if you've done some right here, this is, 18, 19, 20, whatever, that you have to have.
But remember, 10 minutes.
Right, 10 minutes is all you got. So last 2 slides are kind of summary. The first one, you're going to tell us what you're going to do next, right? What's after this? When you finish this review, what you going to do? You want to sit around and twiddle your thumbs all day long? No, we got a lot of work to do. And guess what? You can cheat. You can look ahead in the book. Let's read ahead, right? Go, ooh, flip through the book real quick. And you can figure out what you're going to do. You can list that stuff and talk about it for a minute. Then tell us the physics things you're going to do. You told us, even though you didn't say it, back on the CONOP slide, if you drew a picture or pictures and showed us what's going to happen, there's movement and all that stuff, that's physics. I hate to tell you people. So that's the kind of stuff you can talk about here, right? So tell them what's happening there so they understand you get what you got to do, right? That's what that's all about. And then last but not least, remember, We were told them what we're going to tell them. We told them. Now we're going to tell them what we told them. That's it. That's that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's late at 9. I'm sorry if I didn't. So now tell us what you've done so far, right? But don't just say, we created a great design, thank you very much, bye-bye, right? Unless you're like 2 seconds away from being over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So tell us you got some team identity, right? You made some decisions. You created a name. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You created a logo. You created a slogan. All that's important, so do that. Tell us about the payload, right? Science objective, instruments requirements, some requirements, right? You even thought about some concepts. Or blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
You thought about some concepts, right? That kind of thing. And then tell us about CEAs. Don't forget the CEA events, right? Everybody always remembers, they might remember team identity. They definitely remember payload design because it's what we talk about a lot. But the CEA events are like, and they're very important. They're 35% of the overall power of the grade or the score for the competition. So you got to tell us about those so we make sure we understood that and go, oh, that's right. You just said that, didn't you? So that's what that's about.
Now, you'll also notice that we don't require you to make a decision which concept is better than the other just yet.
We don't want that.
We don't want that yet.
That's on purpose.
The pros and cons, you can, I mean, if the board asks, you can say, well, we're leaning toward this one, but you have not done a detailed decision analysis yet. That's something that's coming up next, okay?
Yep.
And so, and you can say that. You can say, well, we haven't done our detailed decision analysis yet, so we don't know which one is the better or the best choice, if there's 2 or 3. And but at this stage of the game, we are, the pros and cons seem to favor concept B or concept A or whatever.
1 or 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2. So you can say that, but you feel free to just stay away from that question if you want to, because you're not expected to have we're doing this. You're not expected to have that yet. And the board should know this, but they don't read emails, but I send them a lot, so.
Because you just send a lot.
Yeah, they're really long.
Yeah.
So
that's it for the PSR presentation. It's only 20 slides. And guess what? You've already done a lot of them.
And it took us 40 minutes to explain it.
Yeah, but TPR number 2 gave you most of them.
Yeah.
So then you only had a few left. So
yeah,
it shouldn't be that hard.
Really, you should have most of this done
Yep.
from the TPRs that we've done already. So there's just the last few slides, and then just the stitching together and making it look pretty, and then working on the presentation and the transitions.
Yep. So hopefully this helps you. We'll see you next week for PSR. See you real soon.
So excited.
Bye.
Bye.